Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the Starline by multiple Grammy-nominated, Peabody and Emmy Award-winning actor, writer, producer, director, comedian, and best-selling author. His latest project is Looking for Joy. Host of Joy, a podcast, we welcome Craig Ferguson.
Hey, Sean. How you doing, pal?
Absolutely great, my friend. Let's go beyond the mic. Craig, what is joy to you?
You know, I think it varies from moment to moment. I think there's no one. I mean, the essentials, I guess, are the health of your kids and your family and that kind of thing. But as you kind of like go through life, it kind of changes. What joy was for me when I was 18 years old is probably not for public consumption. But what's joy for now? I'm 61. Joy is kind of like oh, look at that sandwich. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of it's a different thing at different points of life, I think. And that's why I'm and also it's different for different people, you know, and that's really the reason for the conversations in the podcast. I wanted to have conversations with people that would, the format talking about joy, you know, because it varies from person to person, forces the conversation to be intimate. You know, not intimate in the sense of what do you wear in the bedroom, although that, I suppose that comes up, but you know, all sorts of, you know, it's about personal philosophy, I suppose.
And positive.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, you know, the conversations get dark sometimes because you talk about the lack of joy or when you didn't have it. But the main thrust of what I wanted to do with the podcast was to make something positive. I feel that we may be oversubscribed right now with the availability for negative feelings, and you know, look, give the people what they want, but that's never been my motto. So I always give the people what they don't want. So right now, it seems to be joy.
You've been sober for over 31 years. Have the dark moments been overshadowed by 31 years of light?
Well, it's not 31 years of light. I think what it is that it's 31 years of reality. And I think that, you know, there is a kind of particularly in the early days of getting sober, I thought, well, I'm sober now, everything should be great. And then, you know, when, I don't know, you stub your toe, you get a parking ticket, somebody's mean to you, or you break up with someone, something, you know, life happens. And you're like, well, why is this happening to me? I'm sober. And then you realize, well, it's happening to me because that's what life is. Life is a series of events. And I think that, you know, what sobriety has given me, apart from, you know, my life, is a sense of perspective on things. I mean, I was 29 years old when I got sober. I'm 61 now, so I've been sober for longer than I, you know, was alive when I was drinking.
Host of Joy, a podcast, Craig Ferguson joined us beyond the mic. And Craig, it's time for the Rockin' 8. All this is 8 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There is no pressure.
Okay, it feels to me like there is pressure right there because you have to answer right away. But I'll let it go, and I'll answer as honestly as I can immediately.
No pressure. What's the best thing about your wife, Megan?
Her positivity.
First set of drums you've ever owned?
A Pearl hybrid metal sort of fiberglass kit.
Do you still have them?
No, I don't have them. They got lost somewhere in the drinking. There was a great drum kit. I wish I could find it again.
Favorite of all the doctors of Doctor Who?
Patrick Troughton.
Craig, where's the best place to see a sunrise in Scotland?
I would say probably the beach at on Arbroath on the East Coast.
What's your favorite episode of Mythbusters?
The one where they escape Alcatraz, when Jamie and Adam took that raft and checked to see if it was possible to escape from Alcatraz. It's a very early one, but it's really good.
How about the best memory from your dad?
My father took me to America for the first time when I was 13 years old, just me and him. It was amazing. We went to New York City from Scotland on a cheap flight, and, you know, it changed my life.
I haven't tried it, so I need to know, what's the best side dish for haggis?
Neeps, turnips, mashed turnips.
February 8th, 2010, your first tweet was, quote, "The fact that I am on Twitter probably means it's on its way out," unquote. Would you like to revise and extend your remarks?
No, I feel like that was 100% accurate at the time, and remains with a sense of verisimilitude to this day.
It's time for the back half with host of Joy, a Podcast, Craig Ferguson, Beyond the Mic. Craig, how has the current SAG-AFTRA strike changed the way you see your industry?
I don't think it has changed the way I see it. I agree very firmly with my union about the strike. There has to be. I've always felt that there's been, a real kind of tension between people who work in the industry and people who control it. And right now there's a disparity which is too large to obviously, because of the strike. There's no agreement. I would like to see a little more. You see, I feel like I've produced stuff as well as being a member of SAG, and I feel like the main job of a producer is to make a deal, and I don't understand why producers are not making a deal. The actors and the writers want to work, so make a deal. That's the job.
How did your own attempts of killing yourself and subsequent achievement of success change the way that you define joy?
I think that it's a huge kind of subject, because also age, maturity, life experience change how you describe joy. I think if anything, I have a slightly more one of Gogol's plays. An old man gives a monologue about how an older man's enjoyments are much less about spurious excitements, and that's kind of, I have an older man's kind of view of joy now. It's about quiet and soft food with salt in it.
Ain't that the truth? It's time for One Big Question with Craig Ferguson, Beyond the Mic. Craig, how has your thoughts of comedy changed from the comedy circuits of the UK to television to the pandemic to today?
I think the main drive of it now is that now I do it because I enjoy it. Because I want to do it. And when I did it at the beginning, it was a survival mechanism, and then it was a way to make money, and then it was a way to get noticed, and then it was a way to, I don't know, have a career. And now it's about, I do it because I love it. So it's kind of like you talk to someone who started playing the guitar when they were a kid, and they end up in a different bands and write music and doing all that. But at the end of it, you just come back to playing the guitar, and I do it because I love doing it. I do stand-up comedy because it brings me joy, and it seems to do okay for some other people too.
He likes turnips with his haggis, misses his Pearl hybrid metal drum set, and wants you to listen to Joy, a Podcast. Comedian Craig Ferguson, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thanks, Sean. It's very nice of you. I had a good time.
And that, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic shortcut. If you're enjoying these conversations, please check out another Beyond the Mic episode to find more actors, artists, and people you need to know. We'd also appreciate a like and subscribe on the Good Pods app.